touches a nose boop to the palm of our hand. We can use this as a way to redirect our dog away from something or to simply get them warmed up, ready, and focused to work with us.
Beau, touch. Yes, good boy. Beau, touch, touch, touch. You got it. Yes. Good.
For sitting down, we use our verbal cue and our hand signal. And then you'll see that I reward often a second time or even a third time. This is to encourage him to hold that position so that he knows that when we ask for something, if he continues to offer us that behavior, that there is chance for more reinforcement. This will help us build into bigger things like his place and stay and leash walking.
Sit. Yes. Good boy. Nice.
For recall, we're going to say his name, Beau, and then come. Then as soon as he turns to look at us, that's when we're going to mark yes, and then begin praising and rewarding.
Yes, good boy.
Marking that yes as soon as he turns to look at us is a really important piece of this. It's what gets him moving. It lets him know he's done the right thing, and it's going to get him excited to start moving towards us. While he's young and learning, we also want to make sure we make this a big praise party and are praising him all the way to us and even when he gets to us. You can practice this outside in the yard, just randomly calling him throughout your time outside with him. You can also practice this inside the house, especially with out-of-sight recall. This is a great way to build up in case there was an emergency situation. And then as he's doing really great, you can practice in other areas using a long leash like the front yard or a green space at the park. This helps build up for more distracting environments and again prepares in case you have an emergency situation.
Good boy. Nice job.
Leave it means back away from the thing you're headed towards and look at me.
Leave it.
So when you see him heading for something that he shouldn't be getting into, you can say, leave it. And then as soon as he backs away and looks at you, mark yes, and begin praising him and getting him a treat. Here we're practicing with dropping treats to mimic food dropping in the kitchen or in the dining room. So you can practice doing it like this. And then in real life, you're not going to have a treat on you. So what you're going to do is what you saw me do in this video clip here, which is we're going to do a praise party to the treats. So he leaves it, he listens. We're going to say, yes, praise, 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 and go get a cookie. Drop it means let go of the thing that is in your mouth. So you're going to cue drop it as soon as he spits it out. Yes. And then you'll reward him. If you don't have a reward on you, if this is a real-time drop it, just like leave it, you're going to do a praise party all the way to the treats. To practice, you can just intertwine this into his playtime, whether it's a fetch or a tug play. Just build it into your everyday play so that he's getting practice. You can also practice this when he has items that he's allowed to have, but you just want to build in the random practice. So when he has a bully stick, when he's chewing on a stick or a pine cone outside, things that he's allowed to have. But it's a good time to just kind of build in that practice of him having something, ask him to drop it, reward, and then let him have it back again. Place means go there, lay down, and stay there until released. His release word is free. When practicing place, you're going to cue place. Once he's on the bed and laying down, mark yes. Reward him by placing a treat on the bed. And then you can practice walking around. We want to build in distance, duration, as well as some little distractions, while periodically coming back and rewarding him. This helps encourage him that he's on the right track and he's doing the right thing. It's important that we reward by placing the treat on the bed. We want him to know he does not need to get up and meet us for it because the food is not in our hand. The food is going to come to him where he is on the bed. As you practice this more and more in training sessions and in real life, the goal is that we're going to slowly space out how often that treat comes and add more duration of time between until he does not need as many treats or any at all. When practicing distractions, you can build in small distractions like opening cabinets, opening doors, making noise with items around the house, picking stuff up, setting it down. You can also do stuff like running past him, jumping up and down, dropping items, things that might be a little bit more distracting. If at any point he gets up and you did not release him, you simply send him back and start again. When you send him back, though, you want to make sure that you don't reward right away. So you're going to cue him to place. Once he lays down, you can say yes and give him a little praise, but then continue on doing whatever it was, adding some distance that you were walking or the distraction, then reward. Because if we reward right away when we send him back, we will get stuck in a loop where he thinks he can go get off the bed just to be sent back to get a treat. There are two main ways that you can practice place. The first one is formal training sessions like you see me doing here in this video. This is where you're setting aside time just to focus on place. And in that session, you're practicing adding in more distance that you can walk away, adding in different types of distractions, and adding in duration between each treat, and really testing that to see if you can continue to stretch that further and further. This is also a great place to really build in distractions and practice all kinds of different things. The idea here is that whatever comes his way, when we've asked him to place, we want him to stay. So this can be running past him, stomping past him, dropping items, even like squatting down at his level, or making louder noises. Just we want him to be okay with whatever might happen when he's on place. And as he gets better, in the beginning, you're going to do one distraction and reward him, one distraction, reward him. And then you can try, can we do 2 distractions before I reward you? 3 distractions. And that's how we can build up that duration of time in between reinforcement while also working on adding in things like distractions. And then, of course, distance as well that you can walk away from him. The other way to work on place is in real life contexts where you would want him to place. So in my house, dinner time is the best example of this. When we are eating dinner, I want all the dogs on their place so that I know where they are and so they're not begging and bothering us for our food. So to practice this, you're going to bring the bed close by, and then you're going to cue him to place just like you do in those other sessions, and then reward him periodically throughout. You'll see in this video here that I do have him tethered on leash. This is an important piece for Beau because if he is not tethered, about halfway through dinner, he will try to get up and go to the living room to pee. But if he is tethered, that doesn't happen. He stays on his bed and he can't walk away to have a potty accident, and then he holds it until I take him out after dinner. So for Beau, you're going to bring the bed in close, put him on his harness and leash, and tether him to something nearby. It could be the table leg, a chair, a cabinet like I have for him. He's little, so we can get away with quite a bit of different options. And then, like I said, you're just going to periodically reward him throughout dinner with the goal that as you do it more and more, you're going to start spacing out more and more time between those treats to build that longer duration. This helps him practice long-term duration because he's not just doing it for a few minutes like he is in a training session. We're building up to 30 minutes to an hour in these real-life sessions, as well as building in some natural distractions, right, where we're not paying attention to him quite as much. Maybe somebody gets up to get more food or more drink, things like that. And you can see here he falls asleep most of the time partway through. If he falls asleep, you can stop rewarding because we want to just let him rest and not bother him, because that's ideally what we want as a dog, that when they're on place for long term, they kind of settle in and rest and ideally fall asleep. And when working on place in a context like dinner, we want to use a food that we don't mind touching and then touching our own food. And so this can be a lot of different options. I personally don't like to use dog treats for that reason. So what I'm using for him in this situation is actually Cheerios. That's a great kind of low calorie way, since he's got a little baby belly, a great low calorie way to give him something fun that he only gets during that time, but still makes it, exciting and rewarding for him. So just like those training sessions, you're going to be periodically rewarding him by placing those treats onto the bed. And then when you're all done, you're going to cue him free to let him know he's okay to get up. The goal is that over time, as he gets better and better at this, and his potty training, of course, is going better and better, that you can weed out having to tether him, and you can just cue him to be on his place. Like I said, he will stay on the place. It was just if he wasn't tethered, he was getting up, having an accident, and then coming back. So he definitely understands staying on the place long term, but that tether helps just us know that we actually have a good eye on him and he can't sneak away to go have an accident right now. Stay means do not move until released. It is pretty much the same thing as place, just without the place bed. So you'd ask him to sit or down first and then tell him to stay. And then you're going to practice similarly to the way you practice with place. The one big difference, other than not having the bed, is that stay is typically used for shorter periods of time, whereas a place is a long term. If I'm asking them to stay for 20, 30, 45 minutes, an hour, then I want them to have something nice to lay on, something very concrete as far as this is where you are and don't move. Stay is shorter term. Wait means stop and don't go any further. So unlike stay or place, where our dogs are not allowed to move until released, wait, they are allowed to move as long as they don't cross that line. So they can be in a sit, down, stand position and move around as long as they do not cross that line. This is the most lax of the three and better suited for things like wait while I go up the stairs so that you don't trip me going up or down the stairs, or wait while I step out the front door so they don't dart out the door, where we don't care what else they do. They don't have to be in a perfect stay. We just don't want them to go any further and cross that line. Another key difference between wait and then place and stay is that wait only needs released if you're going to let them cross that line. So stay and place always need released. Wait only needs released if you're letting them cross that line. So for example, on the stairs, I'm going to say, wait, go up the stairs, and then I'm going to release him free to let him know he can now come with me up or down the stairs. At the front door, if I'm stepping out to get a package, I'm going to say, wait, go out the door, pick up that package, come inside, and then I'm not going to release him because I'm not letting him now go out the door. I'm just going to shut the door, praise and reward him, but I don't have to release him from anything. Now, if I was taking him out on a walk, I would say wait, open the door, and then release him with that free. So it only needs released if you're letting him cross the line. When practicing wait, I would practice this at a couple different spots, like the front door, any stairs you may have, and even other rooms or thresholds that sometimes you may not want him to follow you in. When you reward for this one, you are going to toss the treat back across that line, similarly to how we did place, so that he learns the food comes to him behind the line instead of in our hand. Beau has been doing really awesome in his crate. He does great and sleeps all through the night and does really well during the day when crated anytime I have to leave. When you're going to put him in his crate, you're going to cue crate. Once he's in, reward him and shut him in. Outside of that, I would practice just a couple times a week, maybe, where you just cue him in, reward him, let him come out, cue him back in and reward him. We just want to make sure he stays in a good habit of going in his crate when he is asked.
Beau, free. Good boy. Crate. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. Beau, free. Free. Good boy.
For leash walking with Beau, he is a little bit more on the slow side, so it's not so much pulling that we're working with right now. It's just encouraging him to walk and feel comfortable out on walks. So the two main things that we're doing, one is giving him lots of encouragement, lots of praise, lots of cheerleading to help him keep himself moving. He has the energy to do it. He sprints around the yard and through the house. It's really that he's a little bit unsure and uncertain about the environment of kind of being out in the world. So just lots of praise and encouragement. And then the other thing is what we would call rewarding good choices. So when he's walking the way we want to, he's walking at our side, he's moving forward. He offers us attention if there is a distraction like a car or person passing. We're going to mark yes and reward him at our side. It's really important that you reward with the hand closest to him and reward directly at your side, because we want to encourage him to kind of stay to the side so that he's not crisscrossing in front of us or behind us. And that is something he was doing early on. He's not doing it so much anymore. And so we want to make sure we just keep that up by rewarding with the hand at our side. So all you're doing is throughout your walk, you're rewarding, like I would call 100% of good choices. So every time he's walking really nicely, you'll see me kind of mark yes and reward him at my side. The other thing I'll do occasionally with him to help keep him moving along is when I mark yes, instead of rewarding him directly from my hand to my side, is I'll actually toss the treat forward a little bit, just a few steps. And this just helps get him moving and making it a little bit more fun and exciting for him so that he keeps going forward and moving. So that's kind of where he's at with his walking. So this is kind of what you're doing with him. He's doing really well. He's made big improvements. He's walking a lot more with more confidence, but he still needs some work on it. So when you're out with him, just make sure you have plenty of treats and be ready to do lots of cheerleading and encouraging and just rewarding those good choices.
Come on, Mr. Beau. Come on.
Good boy. Yes. Good boy. And that's a wrap on Beau's training.